Hello, happy Wednesday. Let's do some math together. Today, you are going to do the math warm-up with me and then a math message. Then we will do a page in our math journal together, which will be part of our lesson. And we will do a page of math boxes. So you'll need your notebook, your journal, and a pencil, just like normal. Today for the math warm-up, I'm not going to share my screen with you. I'm actually just going to tell you some numbers to put into your math notebook. So the first number that you're going to write down is 12, then 18, 30, 70, 28, 13, and then just stop there. Our job today is to find the tens digit or the tens place in each of these numbers. Now we worked on this yesterday too, and we've been working on this for months. But the tens place is the number that will come in front of the ones place. So if this is the ones place here, I know it's the ones place because it's at the back of the number. The tens place will come right before it. Please circle the tens digit in all 6 of those numbers that you just wrote. Okay, so hopefully you circled the tens place, which should look the same really for all 6 of these numbers because it was always the first number in the number. However, the tens place is not always the first number in a number because some numbers have 3 or more digits. And in that case, the tens place is somewhere in the middle. This is why it's really important to know the difference between the ones place, the tens place, and then the hundreds place. And as you get older, you'll learn about the thousands place and larger numbers like that. But the next number you're going to write is 190. So now I see this number has 3 digits. We're going to have to find the tens place in there. 262 and 514. Now, when we write these numbers, we could say this number has 100, 9 tens, and 0 ones. That automatically tells you what the tens place is, right? Because we said it. We said 109 tens and 0 ones. So I know that the 9 is in the tens place. See how it's still next to the ones place here, but this time it's in the middle of the number because there are 3 digits in a hundreds number, of course. All right, please find the tens places in these numbers as well. So the tens place is in the middle of these numbers because like we said, 109 tens, 0 ones, 206 tens, 2 ones. So the ones place is in the back of the number, the tens place is right in front of it like that. This is so important to know for today's lesson because we're going to be working with adding and subtracting 10 mentally. All right, let me read to you the math message for today. Listen closely. Tanya put 25 cents in the vending machine for a box of raisins. It says she needs to put in 10 more cents. How much do the raisins cost? Find the answer in your head and then think about how you did that. So Tanya put 25 cents in the vending machine for raisins. It says, hey, Tanya, you need 10 more cents in order to buy those raisins. How much are those raisins? So we're trying to take 25 and add 10. What number did you come up with? Now, when you did that just then, you said 25 plus 10 means I'm only changing the number in the tens place. The 2 was in the tens place. It goes up 1. So we're adding 10 to that tens place. You should have gotten 35. The raisins should cost 35 cents because 25 plus 10 is 35. Next, please open up your math journal to page 182. Page 182. Now, when we're working on page 182, we're going to be solving problems that are asking us to find 10 more and 10 less than a number on the page. So, number 1 says 84 minus 10. Our goal is to do this without a number grid. If you really have to use that tool because you can't figure this out in your head, then that's okay. But I'd like you to try figuring it out in your head first. In order to figure out 84 minus 10, I have to know which numbers are in the tens place. Well, 8 is in the tens place here. And obviously the 1 is in the tens place here. I did a funny job of circling those. Now I know that I can say 8 minus 1 is 7. When we add or subtract 10, we don't change the number in the ones place because we're not adding or subtracting any ones. There's a 0 there in the ones place. So I know that the number in the ones place is going to stay 4. I had a hard time writing that number there, sorry. I was writing upside down. So we figured out this by figuring out what number is in the tens place in 84 and then subtracting the 1 from that number. The 1 came from the tens place in the number 10. All right, number 2 says find 10 more than 39. So I know 3 is in the tens place in 39. It says find 10 more, so I'm going to add. I'm going up. So that means my number 3 will go up 1. It will change to 4. Does the number in the ones place change? No, because we're not adding or subtracting anything in the ones place, because we were just trying to find 10 more, and there's a 0 in the ones place there. So I wrote it on the crease here, but we should have 49 for that number. Okay, number 3 says add 10 to 42. Again, here's my number in my tens place. I'm going to let you solve this one. Add 10 to 42. What would that tens place look like if it went up 1? Number 4 says, find 10 less than 97. Well, the number 9 is in the tens place. I'm trying to find the number that is 10 less than 97, so 9 is going to go down 1. The number in the ones place isn't going to change. Number 5 says, subtract 10 from 61. Okay, well, in the number 61, 6 is in the tens place. If I'm subtracting 10, that means the number 6 is going to go down 1. The number in the ones place isn't going to change. So write down on this line what it looks like if you subtract 10 from 61. Do you see how all of these are written differently too? They're all asking very similar questions, but they're showing us that we can write it a lot of different ways, and it's still asking the same thing. Here's a regular old number sentence, 23 plus 10. Well, in 23, the number in the tens place is the 2, and then obviously in the 10, the number in the tens place is the 1. So the 2 in 23 is going to go up 1. We'll write 23 plus 10. What is that answer? Right here on this line. All right, number 7 says 75 plus 20. They're giving us like a challenge question now. So in order to do this, I still need to identify the number in the tens place. So that's 7 here, and then 2 there. So 7 plus 2 is what? 9. And then again, the number in the ones place doesn't change. There's a 0 at the end of 20, right? So the number in the ones place isn't going to change. I have to keep that 5 from the 75, but we're not counting by ones here. We're counting by tens, so that 5 isn't going to change. All right, number 8, I have 56 minus 30. Again, let's find those tens places. All right, so now I know if I have 56, 5 is in the tens place, 30 has a 3 in the tens place, 5, take away 3, let's count it out, 5, take away 1, 2, 3, is 2. And then the number in the ones place doesn't change. There's a 6 in the ones place here. There's a 0 in the ones place here. So the number in the ones place doesn't change. We're not adding or subtracting ones here. So we have the number 26 as our answer. Now, just now, we didn't use a number grid at all to help us solve those if you were working along with me. We just used what we know about finding the number in the tens place, and we used that to help us figure out how to add or subtract tens in each of the problems. You can use this when these questions come up on the test this Friday, for example. You can think, okay, what number is in the tens place if I'm adding or subtracting 10? The number in the tens place is the only one that's going to change when we add or subtract 10. You have a template in Seesaw that you're going to respond to today. That's asking you some questions about adding and subtracting tens. See if you can figure those out without using a number grid. See if you can use the strategies I just told you about finding the tens place in the number and then moving that up or down, depending on whether you're adding or subtracting. The page of math boxes that you're going to do is page 177. I'll read these to you if you want to stick around and have me help you, or you can just do them on your own. But you're going to post a picture of page 177 today in Seesaw so that we can see that you did your math boxes. All right, page 177. Number 1 says, draw a line to match each face to the correct picture of the three-dimensional shape. So in column A here, they have 2D shapes, and each of those represents a face, a surface of one of these 3D shapes. You're just drawing lines to match which ones go with which. Number 2 says, is the blue part of each circle a half? What are the other names for the blue parts? Or what are other names for the blue parts? So first of all, yes or no. Is the blue part in each circle showing half? And then half is one of the names that we can call splitting something into 2 equal pieces. What's another name for splitting something in half? We haven't done this for a couple weeks now. You might remember that we usually say half when we split something in 2, but we also use the names 1 out of 2 parts. That could be an answer. So this is how you would write 1 of 2 equal parts. Another way to do it is a fraction, and maybe you've seen people write these before. A fraction looks like 1, and then this line, this longer line, means out of, and then the 2 means 1 out of 2 equal parts. So that's just a shorter way of writing what I just said, 1 of 2 equal parts. Obviously, the most common way to call this blue part is half. We just say half. All right, number 3 says, circle the tens digit in each number. Ooh, we just went over this in our math warm-ups. You should be really good at that. Number 4 says write less than, greater than, or equal to. All you have to do in this one is count on this side, write down the number, count on this side, write down the number, and then figure out, are they less than, greater than, or equal to each other. Remember, the D's stand for dimes. Dimes are worth 10 cents each. The P's are pennies. They are 1 cent each. Number 5 is an addition problem. You're just counting those base 10 blocks and adding them together. Number 6 says true or false. So you have to figure out whether these equations or number sentences are true or not. 4 plus 1. What's 4 plus 1? 5. 10 minus 5. What's 10 minus 5? Ooh, I know that one because it's a double. It's 5. So does 5 equal 5? Yes. So this one would be true, or you could put a T here so you don't have to write the whole word. You'll have to solve the rest of these on your own. Figure out if this side equals this side and write true or false there on the line. All right, remember that you have to post on the template in Seesaw. Should be pretty easy for you. And then post the picture of page 177, and then you're done with math for today. All right, see you tomorrow.